She looks at you a second too long, not just a glance, not just casual eye contact, it lingers, and in that stillness, there's something unspoken, something heavy. You feel it, she feels it, but neither of you say a word. That moment, that silence says everything. Because when two people like each other, it doesn't always look dramatic. It rarely starts with grand confessions or cinematic gestures. It begins quietly, subtle, beneath the surface, and often neither person wants to be the first to speak it aloud. But attraction has a language of its own, one that doesn't rely on words. It shows in the way two people exist around each other, how the air changes, how the energy pulls, how the little things suddenly feel charged with meaning. You both like each other, and these are the signs that prove it. First, there is the unmistakable tension in presence. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in a crowded room or standing silently beside each other. There's a pull, a current. It's not based on conversation. It lives in proximity. It's how her body slightly angles toward yours when she talks to someone else, how her eyes flicker to you when she laughs, looking for your reaction. It's how you notice every shift in her tone, every micro expression. You become attuned to each other's presence like gravity. The body knows before the mind accepts it. Then there's the emotional availability that begins to unfold, slowly. She starts to share more, not just details, but feelings, hopes, disappointments, things that feel private, and you find yourself doing the same. It's not planned, it just happens. A sense of safety grows. You start to feel like you're being allowed into a part of her world not everyone sees. The walls come down one by one without announcement, and even though neither of you names it, the openness is mutual. It feels sacred, as though you've both silently agreed to stop hiding for a little while. Next is the emotional reaction to absence. If she doesn't hear from you, she notices. Maybe she doesn't say it, maybe she pretends not to care, but the silence registers, and you feel it too. Because when two people like each other, detachment doesn't feel peaceful, it feels hollow. And that void, that subtle ache when the other person isn't around, becomes proof of connection. Missing someone you were never officially with is its own kind of intimacy. It reveals how emotionally invested both of you have quietly become. You begin to mirror each other without realizing it. Your speech patterns shift, your expressions align. There's a syncing of emotional frequencies. What hurts her begins to hurt you. What lifts you begins to lift her. You begin to sense each other's moods even in silence. There's a kind of intuitive empathy that grows between two people who are drawn to each other. It's not forced, it's not fabricated, it just happens. Like resonance between tuning forks. One moves, the other responds, and you don't even question it because it feels natural. Jealousy starts to appear, not the toxic kind, not rage or control, but subtle protectiveness. She changes the way she speaks about other men around you. You become more aware of how other men look at her. It's unspoken, but it's there. A low hum of possessiveness mixed with caution. It's the awareness that something you value might not be yours yet, and the quiet fear that it might slip away if you stay still too long. Even the smallest interactions with others start to feel emotionally loaded, and sometimes it turns into hesitation. A delay before she brings up someone else. A quick shift in her energy when you mention another woman. These are not accidents. These are signs of quiet emotional investment. There's a specific kind of eye contact that confirms what both are too afraid to say. It lingers, not out of awkwardness, but because both are searching for courage, for acknowledgement, for a sign that it's safe to say what the eyes already scream. And yet, most of the time, the words don't come. Because the moment is too delicate, too real, and no one wants to break it. No one wants to risk losing what they haven't even fully held yet. Humor changes too. It becomes layered, not just about being funny, but about being seen. Inside jokes form, teasing becomes a form of closeness. You begin to communicate in a language only the two of you understand. A look across the room becomes a sentence. A comment holds layers of meaning, and in those layers is the intimacy that proves this isn't ordinary. It's a language born not from time, but from connection. But even with all this proof, fear stays close, because liking someone makes you vulnerable. It threatens control, And in today's world of mixed signals and emotional games, liking someone openly can feel dangerous. So instead of confessing, people linger in the grey, hovering between what they feel and what they admit, walking the edge of something real, terrified of falling in, terrified of being the one who cared more. So the silence grows, and the longer it goes unspoken, the heavier it becomes. You both like each other. That part is clear, but no one wants to be the first to move, because movement means risk, means exposure, means admitting you care, and caring means surrendering control, even if just for a moment. And so, the dance continues. Each interaction becomes a test, not of love, but of courage. Who will lean in first? Who will say something real? Who will break the pattern? Sometimes neither does, and the connection becomes a beautiful tragedy, a missed moment that lingers in memory long after the people move on, not because it wasn't real, but because it was too real, and fear disguised itself as caution, stealing something that could have been profound, the kind of connection that haunts late at night, the one that got away, not for lack of love, but for lack of bravery. Other times, the signs are followed, the vulnerability is embraced, and the risk births something rare, something solid, a connection rooted not in fantasy, but in quiet knowing, the kind of bond that grows stronger in silence, not noise, in mutual effort, not performance, in truth, not game. But even if nothing ever gets said, the body knows, the nervous system doesn't lie, the heart remembers the way it raced when she walked into the room, the mind replays the moment she looked back at you when she didn't have to. The gut still tenses at the thought of her choosing someone else. These signals are never imagined. They are real, deeply encoded into the nervous system, waiting to be acknowledged. And they stay with you, sometimes for years. When two people like each other, the signs are always there, clear, present, persistent, even when denied, even when buried, even when both pretend not to notice. The signs don't disappear, they just go quiet. But quiet doesn't mean gone, it means waiting. And the tragedy isn't in not being liked back, it's in knowing you both felt something and said nothing. So pay attention to the way she lights up around you, to the way your energy shifts in her presence, to the silence that suddenly feels meaningful, to the words that go unsaid, to the moments that replay in your mind long after they're gone. They mean something. Sometimes the truth isn't hidden, it's just unspoken, and those are the most honest truths of all. The ones that echo long after the moment has passed, the ones that live quietly in memory, waiting, watching, wondering what could have been if someone had simply said, "I feel it too." In the end, what we regret most isn't that we felt something, it's that we never let it breathe, never let it speak, never gave it the chance to become something more. You both like each other, and that is rare. Don't let the fear of vulnerability bury something that was meant to bloom, because sometimes one brave moment is all it takes to change everything.